Oh, he's gonna hate us.
Hi, and welcome to the BlueMilk Podcast.
Fucking bitter. This whole episode is gonna be so bitter from that end of the table.
Hi, and welcome to the BlueMilk Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars related. I'm Jacob.
I'm BJ.
He's bitter. I'm drinking.
We talk about anything and everything Star Wars related.
This is an interesting episode. He did the intro.
Including picking on Jacob.
Yeah,
I actually did it correctly, too. This is the first time I've done the intro kind of correctly.
That's because you're focused in your rage.
Yes. Your anger makes you strong.
Use your anger. It gives you strength.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How the hell do you think Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, is on par with Rogue One?
They both had a lot of fighting in them.
I'm trying not to yell. That's our topic right now, is...
Apparently, Jacob doesn't like the fact that we think Episode 2 is actually a pretty decent movie.
Like, you guys have
And
your
on
opinions.
par with Rogue One.
I may not respect them, but you guys have your opinions.
He hates Episode 2, if you don't know. I mean, that's like... So we covered that in a previous episode.
Yeah, it's...
Several previous episodes.
yeah, that's true. But, no, so me... Well, I mean, Dirk and I have been going through the Star Wars franchise, I guess would be the closest approximation of this.
The movie franchise.
Yeah, the movie franchise. And we spent most of a day watching episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
In preparation for, I guess...
This.
Well, recording as well as to, I guess, a solid refresher on Han Solo.
We need it all. We need to
Yeah.
get a good Star Wars background again.
Yeah, well, we needed it all fresh in
Movie
our
background,
minds.
anyway.
Yeah, we needed it all fresh in our minds, so we decided to do this. Jacob said he was going to and didn't.
Things came up.
He doesn't like the prequels. I don't blame him. We're not too fond of them either. But
I have a better appreciation for him now.
that is correct.
Because we spent the entire day ripping them apart.
Oddly enough, 2 was exempt the most from that ripping apart.
That's right.
Which we found very interesting in that fact, considering most people unanimously think Episode 2 is probably the worst.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
But it's weird because we found that, like, storyline-wise, as well as, like, action and pacing, it seemed to just be a solid film. Like, when taken... Honestly,
it was also the most colorful out of the 3.
Yeah, it was. It really was. There was a lot of vivid imagery in that film.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, honestly, it wasn't that... I mean, less Jar Jar.
That was a plus.
That is true. He seemed to learn, like, the CG itself. I mean, we were even pointing that out when we were watching it.
Yep.
Like, the CG was shit. And just, like, the mocap on, like, live actors talking to CG characters was terrible in Episode 1. Like, it didn't even look like they were even looking at the person they were talking to. But in Episode 2, it seems like they learned from their mistakes in Episode 1 and improved, which is astounding.
Yeah.
And Episode 2 even stepped up their game in that department where, like, legitimately a live actor legitimately looked like they were interacting with their CG counterpart. Like, it was just a better movie than 1. And oddly, honestly, Episode 3, I mean, we went back to ripping it pretty hard. So, I mean,
not quite as hard as 1, but we did rip it pretty hard.
Yeah, but nowhere near as less as Episode 2.
No, Episode 2 was pretty quiet.
No, Rogue One? Did we rip it harder?
Rogue One, we pretty much talked through the whole movie.
But it was more
fell
fun
asleep
than anything. Yeah, I did fall asleep. And that's just because I was tired, but I don't think we really ripped it much. We were just
redubbing it.
We were having fun.
We were redubbing.
We don't like certain characters in Rogue One, like, unanimously. You don't like
Churro Boy?
No,
Jin.
That is not a yes. That's a
That means he doesn't
non-committal noise.
He doesn't want to hurt our feelings by disagreeing with us, but he really doesn't have an argument for the disagreement, so non-committal sounds.
Non-committal grunt.
Yeah.
Is what that
Usually.
was.
Hey, grunts are awesome.
No.
Yes, they are.
During sex, maybe.
Really? That sound?
That's awkward.
Yeah, a little bit.
But regardless, yeah, no, Rogue One definitely came, like, when we were watching it, it just definitely came across as a solid movie. It definitely has good war parts and everything like that. There's just certain characters in it that were just like, why?
Fun to make fun of.
Yeah, real easy to make fun of, too.
Like Churro Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be Donnie Yen's character, the blind...
Which, I actually like his character.
He's alright.
Although I kept calling him a churro.
Yeah, well, that's because we don't know his actual name.
It's Churu or something like that.
Churro, yeah.
Yeah, it's
see?
Churro.
Yeah.
We all know Baze Malbus is, though.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. We like that guy. He's practical. And he makes fun of Donnie Yen's character.
K2
so,
is awesome. K2's the best.
Yeah, K2
is
yeah,
good. Yeah,
is the
K2
best.
is-
Yeah, other than Vader. But
Honestly,
Vader's
I don't like Jyn Erso or her love toy. Whatever what the main guy...
Caston?
Cassian?
Caspian?
Cassian.
Casper, the friendly ghost!
Shit. What the hell were we talking about anyway?
Casper, the friendly
No,
ghost.
before that.
Oh,
What was the whole point
The
of
whole
this?
point of this was he was trying to
Rogue
figure
One
out
and
how the
Attack of
hell...
the Clones.
Yeah, he was wondering how the hell we could
That's-
actually say like
there's
episode
no-
2 and Rogue One are very similar.
Okay.
They are.
Here it is.
Okay.
4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome movies.
Yes.
Holy
Which
Trinity.
I cannot say about the prequels, but 4, 5, and 6, awesome movies.
Yeah.
Rogue One came out and made 4, 5, and 6 much, much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even better.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is episode 2 makes the prequels better in the way it's done. It is equal to, in that respect,
I
to
don't
the way,
know.
to the way
What-
Rogue One.
What do you not
Works.
like? Like, you've never actually gone into detail
No,
about
because
what
you can't.
exactly
No,
is wrong.
the love story between Padme and Anakin is too rushed. That is the main... In Attack of the Clones?
What, did you want some really heavy bass guitar, funky bass
You want heavy
guitar?
petting?
And
No, it's too rushed. Like, it's...
What are you talking about?
It
They
is
literally
not-
get married at the end. It's like 3 days. It's like fucking Romeo and Juliet bullshit.
They don't die, which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that would have ruined 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, because then we wouldn't have Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And that would be bad.
Yeah.
We like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's as quick as that. It's like literally like 3 or 4 days.
So you wanted the whole love thing to
Not quite.
add on.
I really do think that the whole movie of episode 2 takes...
It takes a while.
It
'cause
takes over, like... It's the span of, like, a
she
month or
changes a
so.
lot of clothes. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that
Changes
doesn't
a
happen.
lot.
We did make that comment.
I'm pretty sure
Her wardrobe is
doesn't happen in
fabulous.
one day. Oh, and the hair, the different wigs and
Well,
shit
that's...
like that.
her hair is hereditary. We know she gives it to Leia.
The buns Leia has are her mother's.
They are. They are. They absolutely are. Because you see Padme have the buns at one point.
Oh, Padme's got
Padme?
buns.
Padme has buns.
Bitch got buns.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Padme is like 20-something, isn't she?
Yeah, she's older than Anakin. Anakin's
Yeah, but, like,
18 in Attack.
10 years.
She's 24.
Isn't she 10 years
No,
older?
she's only
No.
8 years
6
older.
years?
6
She's
years older.
8 and she's like 14 in Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
She doesn't
We've
look
discussed that
14.
before.
I know, but she didn't look 14
She
in the
was
movie.
30 when she did the movie.
Oh, shit. No fucking
She's
shit.
she's either 14 or...
She's 14.
Yeah.
There's only a 6-year difference
Yeah.
between the two.
So,
But yeah, then there's like, what, 10 years? We skipped 10 years?
Yes.
Because he's 18.
Yes.
yeah.
And then
Okay.
she only ages 2 in that 10 years.
That is correct. She only ages 2. I remember that. And then, yeah. No, see, they've been pining after each other for those 10 years that they didn't see each other.
No,
No,
that's not true.
He was for her.
Yeah.
She didn't give a shit.
You don't know that.
She's a happy. That's true.
No,
She's
no,
a
no, no. She's
happier than we see her.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, Jar Jar did say that about Padme. I get the
But
impression
that doesn't mean she was thinking about him.
I get the impression that he wasn't that much of a looker when he was 8. I mean, no offense to the actor. The guy's been through hell. So, I mean, no worries about that. But you don't look good as an 8-year-old. I mean, I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. And if you're attracted to 8-year-olds, you got shit wrong with you anyway.
Well, she might. But
She might.
She was only 14.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really hold it against her.
What are you doing, Twitchy?
Yeah.
He's getting grossed out about, attraction to 8-year-olds.
8-year-old boys?
Yeah, he's grossed out about that.
Anyway, the point is
maybe she wasn't actually attracted to him.
So you're saying that Anakin used the Force?
No. Episode 2
Man,
takes
you're
a
reading
lot
a
longer
lot
than
into
one
that.
day.
Episode 2
That's
does
what
take
I'm
a lot
saying.
longer than 1 day. Or 3 days, as you seem to put it.
But that's what it's comes to be, it seems like. It kind of shows
That's your
attention.
That's your perception of it.
Yeah.
Interpretation, perception
Yep.
of that. But I mean, we took away that this took a month at least.
I don't think it was longer than that.
You think it was longer than a month?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I
'Cause
said at least.
You had all the different outfits. It had to take a long time.
Well, I mean, there was the whole trip that they took. Because, if I don't know if any of you have actually watched episode 2 or anything. I mean, what we're talking about could literally be foreign to you because you're like,
Yep.
I don't remember any of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Anakin and Padme ended up taking they
take a shuttle.
they pretend to be commoners or whatever, and took
shit. I can't remember the term, but yeah.
But that can take a week. That's actually in the books. If you play the role playing games, it talks about how long it takes to travel public transportation from planet to planet or system to system. It talks about that, and Naboo's pretty mid
Refugees.
Refugees, that's what they were.
Sorry.
They pretended to be refugees, escaping from...
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Regardless, they pretend to be refugees and going back to Naboo. Yeah, going back to Naboo. But, the actual time travel from, system to system and public transportation could take upwards of a week or more.
But don't you think that
to get from, point A to point B.
if George Lucas was smart, sounds...
Damn, dude.
You are really tearing into George.
Holy
I get it,
shit.
but dude.
Don't you think that he should lay that out a little bit more for apparently simple folk like me?
No.
To say that,
No.
hey, this took fucking months
No.
instead of the 4 or 5 fucking days that it looks like
No.
it took?
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to, it's supposed to ultimately be a kid movie. I mean, even George has stated that that's what the prequels are for.
Yeah.
They're for a new generation of kids to learn, and I mean, it even worked on you. You grew up with the prequels.
In that respect,
Yeah.
he did very well because all 3 of them are very childish.
The first one particularly.
Yes.
The second one gets a little bit more, teeny, angsty.
Intimate.
Well, I mean, with the intimate and
Pedo.
heavy petting. I wouldn't go pedo at that point. He is legal.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's true.
I'm not worried about her because she's
really
old.
fucking creepy, though.
Yeah.
He has got some...
He has some fucking issues to begin with,
Damn.
man. To pine after Padme for fucking 10 years? God, I don't even want to know what the fuck his bed sheets look like.
Anyway.
But yeah. Oh, it's a solid movie.
Okay, so now that you know it takes longer than a day, are you happier with it?
No.
Well, I mean, that's one thing you're upset. And there's got to be more.
Well, the love story is shit completely, though, still.
The way it's portrayed, yes, okay. It's rushed.
I
but
don't like the
Did you want to see, the small, intimate,
Yes.
cuddlings of every day to day?
I
and
literally
every month?
tonguing.
I want a fucking remake of Han and Leia's relationship, but with Padme and Anakin. Yes.
No.
Why?
Because
Dude, Han and Leia
are unique.
You don't even get to see most of the interactions with them because they skip a
But
year
that's
when
more,
they go.
that's more believable than Anakin and Padme.
How the fuck is it more believable? You barely see any interaction in the original trilogy between Han and Leia other than she's literally belittling him. She is calling him a scruffy-looking nerf herder and calling him like shit most of... We just watched episode 4, motherfucker. She literally tells him he is a mercenary scum, practically to his face.
And he's still into her.
No, he's into her because
he doesn't
Luke...
get into her until later.
No, he starts... That's accurate.
I win.
That's true. But you'll notice he doesn't actually try to, like, actively go after her until Luke specifically states, do you think...
Yeah.
Like, until Luke says in the cockpit, like...
What do you think?
What do you think? Like, me... And then Han is like... He sees that look on Luke's face where Luke is like, you know, he's clearly daydreaming about the princess. And he's like, well, what do you think, like, a person like me and her could... And Luke is just like, no. And then goes back to, like, he's clearly jealous. And the reason that Han is doing that is because he's fucking with the kid. Like, that's the reason why Han even goes after Leia. Or... Leia?
It's Leia.
They pronounce it...
Leia.
I don't care. It is Leia.
Yeah.
Everyone in that movie pronounces it Leia.
I don't care.
Alright, fine. Regardless, that's when you see, like, if you're good at reading people, you can see that. Like, Luke definitely has, like, this whole dreamy-eyed stare about wanting to get with Leia. And, like, Han sees that, and he's just like, I'm gonna fuck with this kid.
Yeah.
That's only taking New Hope in consideration. What about Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi?
She calls him a scruffy-looking nerf herder to his face.
In the beginning of
and she gets pissed. And then, for the most part, she's pissed at him and yelling at him.
And then they kiss.
All the time.
She is mostly... She's mostly pissed at him because she does kind of like him. And
she's starting to get into him, and she doesn't like that, yeah. But see, the thing is it's... You kind of get... They have a much more active relationship because their relationship is forming in the heat of it. Like,
yeah, they're in battle.
Yeah, like,
most of the time.
Or running, or like in danger, constantly worried about their lives being ended at that moment. Because I mean, when they're leaving the space slug and all that shit. Like, we haven't watched 5 yet, so.
Yeah. Well, we have, but it's...
We have watched 5, but it's been a while. We're going to be
now,
watching
Anakin
that pretty
and Padme have all this time to explore each other's bodies and roll around with strange rhinoceros-looking things.
No, they're ticks. They're giant ticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are giant ticks. Yeah, those are
they're
giant
cow
ticks.
ticks.
So, which is sexy, I guess, for some people.
And he pretends to be, you know, unconscious or whatever, and then they roll around in the grass, and
then he gives her weird,
come on,
fucking creepy...
Yeah, I know, and she's...
stalker look.
Oh, man, no. And then he cuts her pear and feeds it to her, and I'm just like, really, dude? Like, I'm sorry. There's no way to make that better?
I would have cut that pear and then just fucked with her and just kept moving it around.
I would have slapped her in the face with it.
Yeah. Forehead.
I'm pear stamping you.
Okay, so other than the story, the love story, I don't like the Coliseum fight with all the Jedi showing up.
You don't like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's like the only time you ever see that many Jedi in one location fighting anything. Like, literally, that's it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay.
You don't want to see that many...
Explain.
Well, it's more of...
Well, I don't like people.
Too many Jedi in one location makes no fucking sense.
Okay.
Sure, okay.
So, explain.
It doesn't make any sense why pretty much the entire Jedi temple...
Not the entire.
Okay. How many do you think...
Let him explain. Quit interrupting.
How many Jedi...
I was going to explain to him that Mace Windu specifically states...
How many Jedi
He hasn't watched it in a while, but we have.
Let him explain.
Alright, dig your own turn.
Then we will fucking bury him.
How many Jedi do you think it is?
No, continue.
How many Jedi do you think it is?
It's a lot of Jedi.
Okay, a lot. So, that many, saving 2. 2.
He thinks the sole reason that they're all there is to save those 2.
Okay,
and that's
those 2 and Padme.
Well, no, he thinks that's the only reason those Jedi are there. Okay.
All right.
So that's what you believe.
And then the Separatists.
Yeah.
What were they called Separatists at that time?
They were indeed called the Separatists at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah, they were
so the Separatists...
Because they had already formed at that point.
Yeah.
Because they have the technology, but they don't use it, they did not see any of the clones come down or anything like that from space and hit into Geonosis, where like none of that at all. Land any of the AT-ATs or anything at all. No warning, no nothing about that. That doesn't make any sense. He does have a point with that. That makes no sense whatsoever.
I'll give him that.
That nobody saw them come in?
Well, no, that nobody saw, like, all those ships coming in because they all land around the same time.
Yeah.
Well, you might see them come in.
Why didn't they do anything about it?
They did. They deployed all the droid army.
They're reacting, though. They should have scanners.
Are you fucking shit? After the movies we just watched with the Empire reacting every time!
Have you heard of blocking communication?
Sure. Yeah.
That includes sensors.
So visually, they would have to actually see it, look up and see it.
But when they know that their communications are being blocked?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know.
It can be bypassed. It can be...
Well, that's what stealth technology is, bro.
It can be...
Yeah, none of those is stealth.
I don't know if there's a...
Stealth technology is literally just passive jamming, dude.
And I don't know if there's a Star Wars term for it, but you can spoof a signal.
Oh, to make it look like it's a different type of ship.
Yeah.
And the only way you'd be able to tell whether or not it's actually not the ship they say they are is by visually actually looking at it. But we already know
Which
that
is
just
why you
about
have
all
those
the
towers on Yavin.
With the lookout guys.
Yeah.
But we also know that most of the Geonosians were in the Colosseum at that point.
Right.
Enjoying the show.
Yeah, and it was a hell of a show.
But it wasn't just the Geonosians, there was also the Droid Army and all that stuff.
Well, the Droid Army wasn't in the arena, and they're pretty much just controlled by the Geonosians at that point.
They should still be able to see.
They weren't active. You didn't see any active droids prior to that.
And droids...
No, you didn't. You saw 2 droid Dakars show up to take in Obi-Wan. That's it. Just about all of the troops that you see going after anyone in the tunnels, especially like Anakin and Padme, were Geonosian soldiers. They weren't droids.
Yeah, it is right.
The only actual droids, the super droid,
after everybody else,
is when Dooku shows up to watch them at the arena.
Yep.
Those are the only time you actually see any active droids. Prior to that, it's all Geonosian troops.
Not even in the council area?
Nope. All Geonosian troops. Like I said, we watched the movie. I was paying attention.
I can't remember if there were any droids at all in the background. There may have been.
I didn't see any. I saw a shit ton of Geonosian troops. It was all Geonosian troops. And the various factions that made up the Separatists.
But the thing is that you're still comparing it to Rogue One. That's the thing.
The ability of the movie. I'm not saying Episode 2 is as good as Rogue One.
You're saying it is as good, didn't you? You just... you're saying that Rogue One and Attack of the Clones are on par. Yeah. Do you not like Rogue One at all?
No, I like Rogue One. After watching the prequels, I actually have a new appreciation for Episode 2.
I don't understand it, to be honest.
You have to actually, pay attention and understand what the fuck is going on in Episode 2.
With an open mind instead of, it's a fucking prequel! Die!
Well, on top of that, he has these preconceived notions of, the relationship only taking, a couple of days.
Which we just
explained. It obviously doesn't. They're gone for months because just the time traveled and the amount of time that they're actually there. And the amount of time that Obi-Wan is gone and looking for all this other stuff. Because while they're traveling and doing all this stuff, he's investigating the whole fucking thing involving the Camino. And, finding out about the clone army and then going from there and following...
Chasing Jango Fett
through hyperspace and then following him and then the fight with the Sonic Mine that you absolutely hate.
Because it's stupid.
Yeah, because it is. And then, him actually having to wait, a day for Jango to land so that he can actually go down and onto Geonosia without actually... triggering any sensors, because Obi-Wan does that as well. He goes down onto the Geonosia
I know.
without flipping any alarms or anything because he's spoofs his signal or goes in with stealth tech and like doesn't trip any radars or whatever because he's going in as a small fighter, and the radar is designed to pick up these larger ships. So maybe that's another one of the reasons why they were able to actually bring in all those things, is because it was so many small ships spread out instead of like these huge capital ships that they're expecting to see.
You do see those ships that drop off the ATTs as well.
Oh, and I actually covered I actually got this with Russ. Hi, Russ. But the precursor to the Victory is actually the Acclamator, and you see the Acclamator 1 and 2 throughout the Clone Wars.
The series?
No, like the movie. Like when they're lifting off at the end of episode 2.
Oh, okay.
And the triangle-looking ships, but they're not quite like ISDs or...
No, they go like this and this.
Yeah, those are Acclamator 2s.
Yeah, those are all in Attack. They're all in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, those are the ships that I was talking about. Those look pretty cool.
Yeah, those are the Acclamator. Okay. They're the precursor to the Victory. And we actually did some digging and found out that the Acclamator class starship is actually created by a completely separate starship developer than Kuat. I forgot the name.
Damn it.
But Kuat Drive Yards actually sent in spies to infiltrate this other starship developer and stole the plans.
And so they can start doing the Star Destroyers.
And then they made their own, and they called it the Victory Project, which is where the Victory-class Star Destroyer actually got its name. And they were using it as like the Victory Project because they were going to, prove that theirs better than the Acclamator. And so then they made the Victory, and then the Victory won out over to the Acclamator and that other place, and that's why Kuat Drive Yards is the primary starship developer for the Empire, is because they won out.
Nice.
Yeah, found that out. That was the shit you find out when you're like actually digging into shit.
That's true. I can vouch for that.
And it all goes through prequels, you know? Like none of this shit I would have known if it wasn't for the prequels.
Now you just need to watch Clone Wars.
The
animated series.
Yeah. I think I'm the only person that's seen the original Clone Wars with the Aronofsky.
That's what you keep saying.
I'm the only one out of the three of us that have seen that, and I think everyone needs to see it. You didn't like it as much.
I don't like the
this
animation.
This time, I will throw up a link to it. I'll find it and I'll throw up a link.
I think it's like available on YouTube.
Like I own
the whole thing. Samurai Jack dude, right?
Yeah, Aronofsky.
I own it and everything like that. I just don't like it.
But regardless, this all stems with episode 2. Episode 2 is legitimately good when you actually remove your preconceived notions of like it being a prequel, and if you actually think about time frames and concepts and you look at the nuance of what's going on, you'll actually realize there's a lot of stuff in there that it's not obvious. Like you really do have to kind of like dig in order to understand what the fuck is going on. But it's there. It just took multiple viewings for us to actually fucking find this shit.
Well, it also helped that we intended to rip it apart.
Yeah, we did. We actually went into the whole process of watching the prequels with the sole intent to just tear them the fuck apart. And that's what we did with episode 1. And we did it with episode 3 to a lesser degree.
Yep.
But oddly enough, episode 2, we were just sitting there like, holy shit. And we're actually watching it and like going, oh my god, there's all this like information in there and all this stuff that we just didn't see before that we're seeing now.
Yeah.
I still absolutely hate episode 2.
Okay.
It is absolute garbage.
And we were trying to legitimately find out why you hate it, because prior to this, you've never actually explained.
He asked why.
I did.
We like it.
And we were explaining that.
I thought so.
I thought so too.
Okay.
But you've never actually, prior to now, actually explained why you hated episode 2.
Mainly the love story. That's the main whole thing that's pushing the episode of episode 2 is that love story, and it's complete shit.
Okay.
Star Wars is not. I don't want to see a love story that strong in in a Star Wars episode because it's Star Wars, not a love story.
To be fair, one of the main things that we were ripping on episode 3 was the fact that she died from a broken heart.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a.
We have no idea how the fuck that happened.
I have a love-hate relationship with episode 3. I love it because it shows the Jedi dying and everything. It shows the. Even though
you love it because you get to see all the Jedi die?
Yeah.
You fucking monster!
I hate Jedi! I get to see, even though it is a crappy birth, but it's technically the birth of Darth Vader. We get to kind of see it.
A crappy birth.
It's a crappy birth.
He says crappy birth, and I'm picturing her going...
And then shitting herself?
Yeah.
And then the twins come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens.
Episode 3 is not perfect. Episode 2 is...
Far from perfect.
Episode 1 is just a little bit above episode 2 for me.
Alright, so move on. Let's get off this episode 2 crap.
Alright.
What else we got?
Well, I mean, that was
a while.
That was a while.
How long were we on?
It's a little over 30 minutes.
We can
but
probably
5 minutes of that was him being...
pissy.
Yeah.
I was pissy.
Whoa.
What the fuck, man?
I'm going to have to leave that in.
There you are.
Did you see that force push I did?
I did.
That was the pussiest force push I've ever seen.
What topics do you have, sir?
Well, it has nothing to do with that.
Don't worry. Fair enough. But
right.
I mean, we're talking about all the topics.
Well,
so what do we got?
We were watching episode 4, and it really occurred to me just how badass Tarkin really is.
Yeah.
He is so fucking cool. I mean, he's got... As badass as Vader is, Tarkin is... Look, bitch. Just back off.
Well, I mean, he's one of the few people you see command Vader.
Yes. He's
and
the
Vader
only
actually
person
listened.
other than...
The Emperor, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what makes Tarkin so powerful in Vader's eyes?
Well, I think it's a matter of mutual respect.
Is it because
it's more of the respect? There is a book called Tarkin that's based off Tarkin. Go figure. And it shows...
No way.
Way, man. It's cray.
That's just dumb.
A book named
That's like
Tarkin?
a love story.
About Tarkin?
Yeah!
No!
Yeah!
Fine, I'll have to look it up.
But anyway.
And it explains why it is a mutual respect of, like, to Vader. It's not that Vader is Tarkin's bitch or anything. It's a mutual respect between the two. Because in the Clone Wars, they actually worked together beforehand, before Tarkin was, because he was a Republic commander, I think he was, of a
Chicken?
They actually show some of that in the Darth Vader comic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You actually see a young Tarkin.
Yeah. He's in it in 2 storylines. Tarkin's in it for 2 storylines. One is the spoiler alert. I'm trying to think.
Does it hurt?
When they're the trial of Ahsoka Tano at the end of season 5, and then there's also before that in season 4 when they're trying to save a Jedi at the there's a prison that
Bake sale?
No.
Okay.
Just throwing shit out there. You lost your entire...
They were saving a Jedi. Oh, the Jedi, he's actually he's actually in the Phantom Menace.
Who?
A Jedi?
The Jedi.
No way.
The one that they're trying to save.
Oh,
he's
okay.
that guy in the background when
Phantom Menace?
Yeah. So
They're trying to save
There's
the
a Jedi in the Phantom Menace. Can you imagine?
Which one? There's only like 2.
No, you said there's one in the background.
Okay.
So he must be up on a wall or something.
Goodness. Okay.
Does he look like fucking Spider-Man?
I hate you guys so much.
You just see this guy up on the wall, lightsaber lit.
I see me. I could see that. It's like forced camouflage.
Jedi mind trick. You do not see me.
I do not see you.
That's horrible.
It's when the Gungan boss dude is holding up the orb.
Boss Nass?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
Oh, at the end?
At the end, he's holding up the orb. It's the white, like, goblin-looking dude.
That's racist.
That has, like, the ears pointing out this way.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, the Yoda-looking dude.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but he's not a Yoda.
But he's
not
Yoda.
green.
He's not a Yoda, though.
He's not at all.
No, he's got his own species.
He just looks like a Yoda dude.
They actually named his species. He's in there.
Yeah, it's like not Yoda species or something.
They're
like
trying to
pretty
save
much.
him in this prison that's specifically made to hold, like, dark Jedi.
So is he a Dark Jedi?
No.
What's he doing in there?
It's captured by the Separatists. I forgot to add that part in. It's captured by the Separatists. He was captured by the Separatists. They put him in there and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Tarkin's in that storyline. And he's also in the trial of Ahsoka.
He's also in the comic when Vader and the Empire are invading Moncal.
Oh.
Well, Tarkin's, what, 60-something? In episode 4.
I have no idea. I mean, none of us have actually looked
He's
up.
got to be up
He's
there.
probably like 60-something, yeah.
He's got to be up
We
there.
know he dies in episode 4.
He's probably in his 40s.
Yes, it's kind of hard to live through that.
Yeah, well, he decided not to run away.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? That's a couple of teenagers, and it's not going to do anything about us.
Boom.
Yeah.
Shakalaka.
Yep. It happens.
So he's about 40 during the Clone Wars.
Is he?
40-ish.
30?
He's in
Okay,
his 40s.
yeah, well, that would be right.
20.
That would be right.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
19
I guess.
BBY is when...
What?
19 BBY is when Luke was born.
He's 18.
He's 18, dude.
So 18 BBY?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then 18 BBY, and then the Clone Wars was... Before that, like 3 years. Clone Wars started 3 or 4 years.
What?
The Clone Wars was 3 or 4 years long. So...
Okay.
He's
All right.
in his
I'll have
40s.
to-
Yeah.
I'll check that, but yeah.
All right.
He's in his 40s, upper 40s. And
He's 120. We'll just go with that.
It wouldn't surprise me. I
This
mean,
dude
they have
is
the tech.
fucking old.
They have the technology. He looked old in Rogue One.
Oh, that's
That's
CGI.
yeah, and he looked
He was
older.
dead in Rogue One.
No, he was dead in New Hope.
He looked older in some scenes in Rogue One than he did in Episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a lot shinier.
It's true.
He was
Must be
always
all that
sweating.
moisturizer.
He's sweating. He's just always sweating. Why is he sweating so much?
Yeah. Spend a lot of time with Vader.
But yeah, mutual respect between
Obviously.
Vader and Tarkin.
Heavy petting between those two. Heavy petting. That's a love story that takes longer than a couple of days.
That's a love story I can get behind.
All right, Jacob, take us out, damn it.
Oh, why do I have to do it?
Because you brought us in.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
DJ, take us out.
Oh, I was going to do it.
No, go for it.
All right, you go.
Thank you for joining. Oh, wait.
What?
Do we have to pause and then we'll insert the...
We do now.
Oh. Thank you for joining us this episode of the BlueMilk Podcast. Some people got angry.
We got very passionate about our Star Wars today.
I still hate episode 2.
Some of us got
Okay.
less passionate.
Yeah. No, he's just as passionate.
Some of
I
us
just hide it better.
Yeah.
dived a little bit more into the passion of Tarkin and Vader.
That's hot sauce. Those two.
Yeah.
Two old wrangly men get a lemon party Star
God
Wars
bless
style.
America.
Some of us dived in a little further than we needed to.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's tasty.
No, it's sour. sour and wrinkly.
So thank you for joining us this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video.
If you've lasted this
Don't
long,
subscribe to this video. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, the BlueMilk Podcast. Go on our Twitter, the BlueMilk Podcast. Go figure. And our website is BlueMilkPodcast.com. It's not really a website. It's just more of a link to our YouTube, which you're on right now. So, hey, loops. Yeah. So, have an awesome week.